What are you doing?
Well, I took up a patch of carpeting here in the corner of this room to see what's underneath. And underneath this carpet is some padding, and then under the padding is a floor with a lot of paint and junk on it that needs to get cleaned off.
Yes.
It looks like a pretty nice floor. So far, I don't see any termite damage or anything like that.
Well, it's kind of
It looks like
buttery.
Well, yeah, it kind of looks like a red cedar kind of floor.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of wood it is,
Well,
but it's hard to tell now because there's all these black spots are like, that's adhesive from old linoleum. Someone covered this nice wooden floor with linoleum at one time, and then over the years, there was just all this. Maybe somebody used this as a workshop or something, and all this paint got walked into it. So what I'm doing now is here. You can put this back. Okay.
Yeah.
I got my tools. Here, I'll show you my array of tools for pulling up staples and nails and pins. And this is a crowbar that helps to pull up a carpet strip. A carpet strip is this really sharp. It's filled with all these little tacks, and it's nailed down about every 6 inches.
Right.
Okay. So what I have to do is I have to take a hammer, and I take the short end, and I find a nail. There's a nail holding it down, and with the short end, I just tap it in and then lift, and then that's how you take up the tack strip at the edge of the carpet.
Okay.
And also, while I'm doing that, I'm dumping that over there. But,
okay.
Yeah, I got a waste bag over here, a big contractor's bag, and oftentimes the strip will come up. I'll just toss it over there.
Oh,
and
just toss it away, tap it off.
And what it does is it leaves behind the nails, and so then I have to take the nails out. Some of the nails are nice and small, and some of them are big.
Do you want to save the nails for something else, or you just
No.
want to say to hell with the nails?
No, no.
And some are like long.
Yeah.
Hey, let's nail it down with the.
Okay. So and every so often, I'm gathering up the nails and the tacks and the staples.
Yeah,
and I'm just dumping it.
God, why is it so retarded to use like 2-inch long nails?
Oh, because it's probably just what they had.
Oh.
Okay. And see, what I use this for is, in addition to all those nails, before they put down the carpet, they put down the padding.
Yeah.
And the padding is put down with staples.
Yeah.
And so like here's a staple with a little piece of padding in it. So I'm just gonna with this flathead screwdriver, I'm just going underneath, and I'm just wiggling it out. Okay. And so that staple is out of there.
Yeah.
And sometimes, here's another one, sometimes only half of it comes up. So then I use the pliers to pull it all out.
Okay.
So that's what I'm doing this morning.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Eddie.
Okay.
Okay.
Doing?
What am I doing? I'm removing nails that someone, for some reason, pounded a whole bunch of nails right here on this floor. And I don't understand why, but they did.
Maybe there was a mentally retarded kid that was bored, and the parents said, "Here, go nail some nails in the floor somewhere."
Yeah. And they're small nails. They're like 1.5 inches long, and they're not too big. Okay. But the trouble is, at one point there was linoleum over this beautiful wood floor, and someone pounded a whole bunch of nails into the linoleum and then into the wood. So I'm having to scrape out bits of linoleum from around the nails. So I start over here. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and then and I've got about 20 more
Oh,
So
no.
I don't know what this is about, but you know, I scraped away some of this gunk from around it, and I can see that there's some nice cypress flooring on this finished floor.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I just wanted to get that on video.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Eddie.
It's on.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
As you can see, I've made some headway.
Mm-hmm.
I took out a bigger piece of carpet and padding, and what I'm doing is I'm just using a variety of scrapers and
Mm-hmm.
you know, and staple removers and nail removers, and basically I'm going along and I'm scraping like sort of these big paint splotches just to see how difficult or how easy they'll come up.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm doing is I'm going along with a brush and I'm just brushing the debris over.
Mm-hmm.
And mostly I'm now at a point where I've come to what look like a row of staples. And these are staples that were used to put down.
Rolling.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
I'm taking up staples that were used to install the padding under the carpet.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at the edge of the carpet where I've cut it away, you can see that just underneath there's some orange rubber padding.
Yeah.
And that padding probably protected the floor from a lot of spills, you know, that the old carpet took. But you know, this carpet is probably at least 20 years old, and so what I'm doing is I'm removing any nails or tacks or staples, anything that would get in the way of a sander, because this floor is going to be sanded. But basically, I'm moving in this direction, and as I go along, you know, I find these staples and I remove them, and I'm also using a scraper, you know, to see which parts of these paint spills are easy to come up and which ones aren't. You know, some of the big ones come up pretty easily, and others are just really thin bits of paint that'll come up with the sander.
Mm-hmm.
And then as I go along, I'm taking this brush and I'm just brushing it along. And sometimes to do a test, I'll take this this putty knife, you know, and I'll just go along the floor, and see, I run into staples that I don't see, and so that tells me one that needs to be removed. Okay. So anyway, I just wanted you to get this picture on video, and I'm going to work on this part this afternoon, and then I'm going to put the objects that we had along here. We had our clothes hampers, and we had like a little hardware area set up here.
Okay.
So I'm going to clean the floor and put those back tonight, and then I'm going to work on some more tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Eddie.
This is before. This is after. Andrew's been doing a rough sanding to clear up the area of the floor.
Hi, Eddie.
Hello.
Yeah, this is the big area. You might want to pan back. This is the area we took up the carpet and the padding today.
Yeah.
It's about a 6 foot by 8 foot area over in the corner of the big room upstairs. And after we pulled up the carpet and the padding, we used some tools and pulled up all the staples and nails and anything that would get in the way of a sanding.
Yes.
And so I have some 40 grit sandpaper and a sanding block, and just about 24-inch wide by 2 feet by 8 foot strip. I'm giving it a sanding just to see how it'll look and to see what, kind of what we have in store for us.
Yes.
And so, it's sanding up pretty nicely, but this floor is probably about 100 years old, 90 or 100 years old, and it's got a lot of little pock marks and dents and stuff that have to be sanded out. But doing a rough sanding basically just helps to clean it up. Because you can see there's a lot of paint spatter from old paint jobs.
Yeah.
And so we cleaned some of it up with scrapers. You know, we got a lot of the glop of old dried paint off. But you know, at some point we're going to have to sand it. So I'm doing this just to clean up a strip to see how it goes. So this is how it is.
Let's go. Good. Say ta-da again.
Ta-da!
It's all nice and smooth.
Yes, it is. I sanded it with 3 types of sandpaper and a smooth steel wool. The first sandpaper was kind of rough. It was a 40 grit. And then the second time I sanded, it was a 60 grit. And then the third time I sanded, it was 100 grit. And by the time you get to a fine grit, like 100 grit, the sanding goes a lot quicker.
Yeah.
And then I used a very soft kind of steel wool to rub it down. And so now it's very nice and smooth to the touch. We still have a lot of stains and a lot of nicks and dents because, you know, like I said, this floor is about, I'm guessing, 90 to 100 years old. It has decades of wear and tear. So at some point, I'll probably use a thin layer of paint remover to get all the stains and varnish out of it, and then you know, at some point I'll be sanding it to make it a little more, you know, I like the way it looks here, and so I'm going for this kind of finish here. But I'm going to try to do something about all these, basically these uneven varnish stains that just didn't come up with today's sanding. So.